A warm hello to all our viewers. You're watching The Property Show. I'm Chanakya Bhatia. Every Monday, we explore North India's best performing property destinations and we bring you our expert-backed recommendations on what projects to invest in. With me in the studio is Dhruv Khanna, Assistant Vice President at Prop Equity, to advise you when you call in with your queries. But before that, let's have a look at what's in store for you today. Our top story today, buyers' confidence hits a new low. Over 30,000 home buyers of JP Group wait in vain to get their dream homes. Stranded for more than 3 years, what legal recourse do they have? We will find out. As Haryana government bets big on its recently announced transit-oriented development policy, will it solve the Millennium City's affordable housing needs? Why do builders and experts have a different take on the policy? We will look into upcoming regions of Noida for top projects in 80 lakhs. Projects in new Gurgaon region that are worth your money. Affordable homes in emerging micro markets of Jaipur under 50 lakhs. And what all smart investment options you have in the new emerging areas of Mohali in 60 lakhs budget. One of the biggest culprits responsible for the erosion of buyer confidence in the National Capital Region is the JP Group. Ambition, overexpansion and diversion of funds collected from buyers has left the company with no money to complete over 40 projects running late by an average of 3 to 4 years. In almost all of these projects, 90% of the payment has been collected from the buyers and has disappeared. Here's a report on the stranded buyers and the crippling monetary loss they have left with. This was the dream and promise made by the JP Group in 2010 to lure the hapless buyers. Today, JP Aman 1 and 2 lie abandoned, and the group's words like trust ring hollow.
It was a promise that this apartment will be delivered by December 2014, that is within 30 months approx. But till date, they are just giving one by another commitment and they are not fulfilling any their commitment.
Gaurav and 10,000s of buyers across JP Group projects have been given multiple deadlines of possession, and none have been met. Some like Chandan Rajgadia, who booked recent project in Sector 129 Noida, are left counting their huge losses.
I was just trying to, calculate my loss on the basis of this delay, and if I simply make a very basic calculation, if I get by end of 2017, then there will be around 12 lakh of loss to me from my pocket in terms of excess interest paid on this project, and that's the thing which I bother, and there is a continuous EMI burden on me.
For a company which got land for free along with rights to build the Yamuna Expressway, the question remains, where is all the money collected for 41 projects which are running behind schedule with average delays at about 3 to 4 years? This question was unanswered in a recent interview given by the group chairman Manoj Gaur to a national daily. While he addressed the questions on group's efforts to repay the huge loans owed to the banks, not once were the hapless buyers mentioned. And when NDTV tried to get some answers, none came back from the company despite repeated requests. The company in the past had blamed NGT ruling for delays in some of their projects, but even after the clarity on the issue, there are hardly any signs of construction in the projects. There have been several petitions filed in NCDRC against the JP Group, which are slated for hearing later this year. With no legal remedy in sight near time soon, the customers who are paying monthly rents and EMIs are left high and dry. The buyers are now pinning their hope on the formation of a real estate regulator in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Some have even given up their dream of a home. Chanakya Bhatia, NDTV. And we have in our studio Siddharth Yadav, Advocate Supreme Court. And also we are joined in by Vaibhav Gaggar, partner Gaggar and Associates. And from both these gentlemen, we will find out what options does buyers have if they are stuck in such grave situation. There are over 30,000 buyers waiting for possession. There are no signs of them getting the flats anytime soon. So my first question, seeing that the condition of JP, for example, in such scenario, Siddharth Yadav, do you think that is there any hope for these buyers stuck in abandoned projects?
First of all, I'm an optimist, so there is certainly hope. These people have invested their hard-earned money in this. Now, there are 2 or 3 things they should do, and if they have done or not done, they should certainly get going now. And I've been saying this repeatedly on your show. Legal recourse is one. They should, for that, the easy way out is form an association. Individual buyer to take on a large company like JP or any other builder, developer, creates a problem. The litigation sometimes stretches. One. Secondly, there is a shortcut to the litigation route. If you were an individual buyer, you will have to start right at the bottom of the rung, file at the district court level or the consumer state level. Whereas if you form an association, you can all collectively come to the National Commission. There are n number of judgments now which will protect you. But the larger issue, Chanakya, which I wanted to raise, and I've been saying it again and again, is a social issue. Now, these people have bought homes for themselves to live in. They are not getting anything back in return. And there is no likelihood also. Your report showed, there are years and years of delay. If we cumulatively calculate all of them, there are more than 40, 45 years of delay. How will these people ever get their houses? So they have to do something. Not doing anything is not the answer.
Mr. Gaggar, now I would like to come to you. What legal action can the buyer take to get their homes?
Well, quite clearly, as it was just mentioned, one is the NCDRC route, or whether it's a district forum or the state forum. But according to me, this actually is a blatant case of fraud. If you're telling somebody that I'm going to be giving you a particular service or a product or a house in X amount of time, and I've raised money, I've taken money from you for that, it's an inducement. And if the inducement is false and false to their knowledge, then this actually meets the ingredients of 420 quite clearly in a criminal conspiracy. So that's certainly something that I would ask consumers to consider and take legal opinion on. Secondly, you may also want to see all these agreements. They're going to have various arbitration clauses, whether that works for them or not. RERA has should be kicking in once a designated authority is there. That's certainly something that has to be explored and to its fullest potential. But currently, the two immediate routes forward are the NCDRC with a simultaneous action for fraud that need to be contemplated. You could also look at a situation of filing a winding up petition. I mean, if you want to talk purely legally, if there are admitted debts which are there, then a winding up petition could also be sustainable. At the end of the day, however, is it something that is going to benefit them and get them their house? If the company doesn't have the resources, then it's a tough battle ahead. And as Mr. Yadav just pointed out, you're looking at almost 40 to 45 years of a backlog if all the projects are taken together.
That,
so will have
Mr. Yadav also said that is it better to form an association, register it, and then file a complaint in a group rather than going individually?
I somewhere disagree with Mr. Yadav on that, even though that is a practice which is normally followed. I myself have advocated that for the longest time. But of late, I have more and more started believing that individually or smaller clusters are better placed to take up these battles. Reason being that an association, which has 200, 300, 400 people, or even going into a few thousand people, it becomes so unmanageable. Literally red tapeism kicks in. There are politics of the association that kick in. That at the end of the day, instead of being able to focus on the matter at hand, one is grappling with a million other issues. So while to the extent of saying that a pecuniary jurisdiction, obstacle can be overcome and you can hit the NCDRC directly, I think there's a lot that has to be seen into it, and you don't want, people who are inserted in associations at times to create issues. Miscreants also become a part of it. It becomes almost self-defeating at times. So that's why, purely legally speaking, while I may accept what Mr. Yadav is saying, at a practical level, I'm not too sure I'm on the same page.
Okay, and Mr. Yadav, there are numerous cases pending before NCDRC. What other options do they have? Is that one NCDRC they should go to, or they have other options also?
Like Mr. Gaggar suggested, there could be criminal action, but criminal action is a very tedious process in this country. Complainant has to attend every hearing. Whereas here a home buyer who's office going, working in a company, or a woman in that case, if she starts going to a criminal court pursuing issuance of summons to the directors, becomes a tedious process. Second point which was raised was whether a district court can be. Now, district court requires filing of a civil suit. Now, civil suit means putting court fees up front. Now, therefore, the consumer forum has been made only for individual persons like this, where they can avoid lengthy litigation, one. Second, you don't have to go through the entire gamut of leading evidence and so on and so forth. Third, there is no appearance required. You don't have to be present on every date of hearing before the court. Your lawyer does the job. Now, just coming back to whether why I propagate association is, here we are dealing with a large developer. Now, he has all the wherewithal, he will use all the wherewithal, any and every application. I have had personal experiences where they have taken it appeal right up to Supreme Court, and then the matter comes back, and it takes years even for it to be decided before the NCDRC. Now, for an individual to afford that kind of litigation becomes very difficult. Over a period of time, they start losing faith in the judiciary. They have already lost money by investing in their property. They don't want to put good money after bad money. That's how the feeling comes in. So therefore, association collectively gathers some money. There is a president or a person who heads the association. I have had experiences where 1 or 2 point contact become the source between the association and the lawyer, and then it's pursued, the remedy is pursued. Till now, it's been found to be one of the most successful remedies available to the buyers.
So, Mr. Gaggar, do you think it is a successful remedy? Because in past we have seen Unitech case in which they were awarded higher compensation, buyers were awarded higher compensations, but it was the stay was put on it after the Supreme Court ruling.
No, so as I said, theoretically, I have no issue with what Ms. Yadav is saying. Legally speaking, an association is competent to do it. Yes, because it kind of divides the overall cost amongst a lot of people. Therefore, the consumers also kind of benefit to that extent. But I do believe, and I've had personal experiences as well, where we've represented and successfully represented associations because there have been that 1 point man or 2 point men who have been able to deal with it. On the other hand, I have also faced, and especially in the last couple of years, a lot of these cases where the associations have become a mess. There are too many vested interests which have started creeping in, which has actually derailed the litigation process, according to me, and that's talking from personal experience. And therefore, I'm not the greatest advocate of associations at every point of time, even though in the past we used to be. Secondly, regarding the Supreme Court giving a stay on the matter, the legal process takes its own time. I mean, we all, as lawyers, Mr. Yadav, myself, and others have had a sense of frustrations, but we also have seen what the courts have done, and they are, we have to credit them for bringing about a change in the real estate dynamics today, because earlier the consumers had no, they had no say whatsoever. Today the builders are worried that the authorities are going to come down on them hard. Yes, there's pendency of cases. Yes, things are slow and could have been faster, but I think the endeavor is in the right place, and I think everyone is at the end of the day going to see the light.
Okay, before wrapping up this discussion, lastly, do you think an appellate tribunal after a regulator formed in each state would benefit lakhs of buyers across India?
No doubt.
Mr. Gaggar,
I hope that was meant for me, and Mr. Yadav would have his own thought, but
so Mr. Yadav,
I think it has to be done. I do believe that there are constitutional issues which are going to surface in time to come with the RERA as well, with the framework, because you will need to have people trained in law and with legal degrees who are going to be sitting on the appellate tribunal or in the RERA. But I think that mechanism has been well thought out. I have no issue with that.
And Mr. Yadav, what do you think?
No, certainly, I agree there. The first step is in the right direction. How far do we take it? You see, land is a state issue in this country. So therefore, the constitutional, which Mr. Gaggar correctly refers to, is how do states, whether they adopt the act or not. Now, whether a state, for political reason, may or may not adopt the act, then what does the consumer of that state do? Does he have no remedy? The answer certainly has to be no. So therefore, that's what I said. This is not only a legal issue, this is a very, very large social issue. Buying a house for yourself and your family and your children, and you don't get a home even after years and years of waiting and putting money after money, this has to be dealt with a social issue. And certainly, I mean, more has to be done just than taking these gentlemen to court or these companies to court, as we have seen that their courts have taken several big, large directors to task personally when they have defrauded people.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Siddharth Yadav and Vaibhav Gaggar, for joining us and giving our buyers options on how they can take on developers who are playing with their emotions. And it is time for the developers like JP to wake up and do whatever they can to complete those projects and flats for which buyers are waiting since years. Moving further, we have a first caller, and his name is Puneet Sharma. Yes, Mr. Sharma, how can we help you?
Hi, sir. I'm calling from Delhi. First of all, I think you for conducting such a very good show regarding real estate. This show really helps the home buyers and answer various queries.
Thank you so much for that.
So my question is, I wanted to buy a 3 BHK ready to move in flat in Noida for residential purpose.
Okay.
And my budget is approximately 70 to 80 lakhs.
Okay.
I wanted to know the future prospects of Noida in terms of infrastructure development, overall facilities, connectivity, etc. And I had also shortlisted one project of Pratik Group in Sector 77 named Pratik Wisteria.
Okay.
So kindly suggest me about the project.
Okay, sure, Mr. Sharma, we will help you on that. So, Dhruv, what do you suggest? His budget is around 80 lakhs. He's looking for Noida, and he's also thinking about the future prospects. So, what do you think?
See, Noida has always been an end user market, so it's a good market. It's given reasonable returns. The infrastructure is fairly good, and the connectivity is only improving in that area. Even the corporate sector is showing a lot of interest, a lot of new corporates moving into that area. Looking at the Noida figures here, inventory overhang in the upcoming region is 20 months. Weighted average price is 5,350 rupees a square foot. And this market is growing at about 8% per annum. Now, the project Puneet has shortlisted, Wisteria, is by Pratik Group. This gets a go-ahead from us. This is in Sector 77. Price is 5,900 rupees a square foot. This project is already delivered. It is located on the main internal road in Sector 77, about 6.5 kilometers from the Noida city center metro station. It's already got a lot of families, about 1,000 families living within the project at the moment. It's built over 15.3 acres and is being managed by JLL Meghraj. There are two other projects in the same budget in a similar location that we recommend he can look at. The first one is Mahagun Modern by Mahagun India. This is in Sector 78. Price is between 5,800 to 6,000 rupees a square foot. Most towers in this project are already complete except one. This project is located on the main internal road of Sector 78, around 5.5 kilometers from the Noida city center metro station. This has an operational retail area called Mahagun Mart and a Manthan school within the premises as well. It's spread over 6 acres and it's got some very good amenities like a large central park. It's got a Leander Pace tennis academy, and it's also got imported marble flooring in all the bedrooms. Now, the second project he can look at in addition is Gaur Gandeo 2 by Gorsons India. This is in Sector 119. Price is around 5,500 rupees a square foot. This is a ready to move in project. This project is located again on the main internal road in close proximity to the FNG corridor. It's about 7 kilometers from the Noida city center metro station.
So, Mr. Sharma, it is a go-ahead for your shortlisted project, and also you can look into Mahagun Modern by Mahagun India, and also you can look into Gaur Grandeur 2 by Gorsons India Limited. Next up is an email, and Jaiprakash Ghaswan writes in saying that I want to purchase 2 or 3 BHK apartment at Sikar Road or Kalwar Road, Jaipur, as I basically resides at Sikar, Rajasthan. I visited the many apartments and shortlisted following project. One is Apeksha Festival at Sikar Road by Apeksha Group, and other option he has chosen is Shivalika at Kalwar Road, and the third one he has chosen is Viva Height and Gokul Residency at Kalwar Road by Guman Group, and his budget is around 40 to 50 lakhs. What do you suggest?
Sure. See, out of the 2 micro markets that he's chosen, Kalwar Road looks like a better micro market to go with, primarily because of the significant RHB penetration. This has also got better connectivity through the bypass road as well. Although we have also ranked the 4 projects that he's shortlisted. Now, looking at the 2 micro markets, the inventory overhang in Kalwar Road is 12 months. Weighted average price is 3,450 rupees a square foot, whereas the inventory overhang for Sikar Road is 22 months. Weighted average price is 2,950 rupees a square foot. Kalwar Road at the moment is growing at about 6.8% per annum, and Sikar Road is growing at just over 7% per annum. Now, out of the 4 projects, the best one we feel is Apeksha Festiva by Apeksha Housing. This is located on Sikar Road. Price is about 4,500 rupees a square foot, which is a bit higher than the weighted average price. But this project is right adjacent to the Jeevan Jyoti Hospital on Sikar Road. It's about 6.5 kilometers from the railway station, about a similar distance from the ISBT as well. These are fully furnished apartments, and that's the reason for the slightly higher price. These apartments come fitted with air conditioners, modular kitchen, refrigerator, RO, chimney. It's got a double bed, 5-seater sofa as well, central table, etc. The second project, the second rank is Viva Heights by us, by Guman Group. This is in Kalvar Road. Price is 3,100 rupees a square foot. The construction for this particular project is in advanced stages, and this will be delivered next year. This project is located right off the Kalvar Road, about 2.5 kilometers from the Delhi-Ajmer bypass. This project plot has been allotted by JDA under the Kardhani scheme. The third rank is given to Shivalika by Shiv Shakti Group. This is in Kalvar Road. Price is about 3,500 rupees a square foot. The first floor slab is in progress at the moment. This project is to be delivered in about 2.5 years from now. This is located in Gokulpura, just off the Kalvar Road, and it's got all the basic amenities as well. And the last project that we feel out of the 4 shortlisted projects would be Gokul Residency by Guman Group, located in Kalvar Road. Price is 4,000 rupees a square foot. The plinth work is going on at the moment. This project is to be delivered in 2019. The plot for this project was also allotted by GD under the Kardhani scheme. It's located bang on the Kalvar Road, about 800 meters from the Delhi-Arwar bypass.
Mr. Jaiprakash, I hope all your doubts are cleared now, and it is time to take a breather. After the break, we will find out the impact of new transit-oriented policy in Gurgaon, and will it prove to be a boon or bane for the city? We will find out for new home seekers in our project tracker today. Delhi Heights by SPP Group in Ghaziabad.